The guy in the back is on his phone.
The continuing deterioration
He is. He's
of the
texting.
security situation.
Help me.
And poor economic and social governance.
I don't believe
They won't let me leave.
I don't believe in this coup.
Every single one of them had like an Army Navy surplus uniform.
They did, yes. They're like, just get whatever uniform you can and maybe some medals. Africa right now is home to more than 1 billion people. That is not a small number, right? And that number is expected to double by 2050. Kind of like former Vice President Joe Biden says.
It's not just our citizens. Look, the global south, there are going to be 1 billion people in Africa very shortly. 1 billion.
That happened in 2009, Joe.
He doesn't know that.
He's so stupid.
He's still in 2008.
You, sir, are an idiot.
You're a stupid dumbass.
So look, we're going to pull back the curtain on the continent that has over 1 billion people already and has had over 1 billion people for the last 14 years, Joe, just so that you can see a little bit about what we're talking about. Now, the first thing, so our fast fact number, we'll go with 3. We'll count down.
Yay.
And maybe do a +1 again today. I didn't know how to properly pronounce this country's name until, and I just said Niger. No. Niger. Don't anybody insert
Canceled.
another G. I did not say that other word. I said but Brian, is that how you thought it was pronounced?
Niger.
That's also.
Sorry, guys. I speak French. Niger.
That's also wrong.
It's closer.
Toolman, what did you think the pronunciation was? What I said?
Yes.
Niger? I'm being
Niger.
I'm being deliberate on my pronunciation of the J in this word.
Yes.
In my mind. That's what it is.
J?
What is it, Lane?
Niger.
Why?
Well, it's a former French colony. So
they changed the name of the entire country when the French invaded?
Dude, before colonialism,
Jerks.
none of these countries existed as we know them today. That's another thing.
Cambodia didn't do that. Vietnam didn't do that. It's not Cambodia.
I wonder what that word means in French.
Niger is.
It means land of rivers, I think.
Oh, okay.
Please. Tim, please.
Niger.
God,
didn't know. I just-
Trump, do we need you as well? God, you guys.
Riget.
What are you, a wordsmith?
I'm not.
What are you?
I pressed
What are you,
buttons.
Noam Chomsky? Who brought the linguist? Who brought the muscular linguist in?
Well, in Niger, whether you pronounce it that way or other ways, there was a coup, and it started in late July. I mean, shocker. If you think of the continent of Africa, you typically think of things like this. You think of these coups that are happening, or you think of Coney,
French word,
or you
by the
think
Coup.
it's a coup. You think of the
It'd be
coup.
cool if you didn't say that again.
Yeah, thank you. Wow, that's even
Nailed it.
worse. Yeah, that's the well. Thank you. Yeah. You think of coups, you think of people like Coney, you think of things like Rwanda with genocide. You don't typically think of anything good. And I don't mean that as a bad thing to people. I'm just saying the world news-making events tend to be very bad things that are happening. And there's a reason. There's a lot of these things that do happen. There's a lot of tribalism, like you talked about, and so that leads to a lot of these problems that you can have. And there's also a lot of resentment to people in different tribes helping the colonizers when they came. And then when the colonizers leave, all of a sudden you're mad at the party that helped them. It happens throughout history. I understand it. But here's another coup. It started in late July when members of Niger's presidential guard detained President Mohamed Bazoum.
This day, July 23rd, 2023, we, the Defense and Security Forces, meeting within the National Council for the Safeguard of the Homeland,
We're all bored to death.
decided
it's a
to put an end
translator.
to the regime you know.
The guy in the
This
back is on his
follows the
phone.
continuing deterioration
Yes, he's
of the
texting.
security situation
Help me.
and poor economic and social governance.
I don't believe.
They
Every
won't
single-
let me leave.
I don't believe in this coup.
Every single one of them had like an Army Navy surplus uniform.
They did,
on, too.
yes. They're like, just get whatever uniform you can and maybe some medals. I don't know. That's
to your
supposed to
point,
look good.
Gerald, that is a familiar sight in
It is.
in African politics.
100, like for us, we're
Nigeria.
like, no way, a coup.
Yeah.
And for them, they're like, yeah, it's Tuesday.
I think that's
So,
5 since the French left. They've had 5 coups.
5 coups. Are there ever? What is a coup d'état?
Same thing.
Same thing. The coup
It's just
d'état
the
is-
long version
Well,
of.
yeah, it's a long version because it's d'état is the state. So a
It's
coup.
also a
Overthrowing the
sick
state.
song by Korean wonder band Big Bang.
Duh.
Yeah.
I am beginning to regret bringing you into this room.
Lane is a,
So the
Lane
question-
is a freak for Korean wonder bands.
Yeah, that's.
In fact, he used to be Korean. His face is that angular.
Isn't
'cause he had
BTS a
some work
Korean
done.
wonder band, like the biggest in the world,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay. Does this matter to the United States? Does Niger matter? Yes or no? I want you to comment. Does what's going on in this country matter? So it is located in the Sahel region, which is known to be a hotbed for terrorism. So that might be something that we want to keep some kind of an eye on. They're also a key partner in our counterterrorism efforts in Africa. It's interesting that we choose the places that terrorists locate to have counterterrorism. No, that makes perfect sense. We need to be in some of those places sometimes. Now, I'm not saying in Niger you have to. I'm just saying.
I think we are keeping an eye on it.
You're my Niger. Love it.
You know what I'm saying?
Whoa, that's pretty funny.
Gerald?
In Niger.
Gerald, please.
It's French. What's the matter with you?
Okay, I didn't realize you were speaking French at me, but it's so offensive when you speak French.
Niger.
C'est offensif.
They host some drone bases for us. Thank you. Special forces and logistics experts. Couldn't get that out. Logistics experts. The U.S. also provides over $100 million a year in aid to Niger. That's a lot of money. That's one of those things that makes people go, okay, well, why are we spending so much money in these places that most people haven't heard about? This is one of the reasons you need to know. So if you're going to make an argument and say, hey, we shouldn't spend the money, know what we get for the money. Tell me if you think that that's worthwhile at that point or not. It does matter. You need to know the information. And they are more important to France, by the way. The former French colony, they were recently home to as many as 1,500 French troops who all promptly surrendered to themselves. The French are terrible fighters. They just go there and don't really do anything. Have you ever seen some of the stories about some of the French Foreign Legion?
I think the French Special Forces are actually pretty adept, like extremely adept.
Yeah. The Special Forces might be, but the rest of their army are not so special.
They tie their shoes.
Yes.
They're probably the best army. I mean, this isn't saying a lot, but I'd say they're probably the best fighting force on continental Europe.
You think over Germany?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yes.
Really?
We basically, after
haven't
World
they
War II,
thought
said
that
Germany,
for
you can't do.
Haven't there been at least 2 times in the last 150 years they thought that
Right,
we're
but
wrong?
that's why after World War II, we decided maybe we should do something about the Germans and help the other people
Their
around them.
intelligence agencies are supposed to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's just the
French?
language. Yeah, the
I
language.
would never think that the French were
also-
any good at anything other than baguettes and wine.
No, they're known to be fierce, and they also are big arms dealers.
Roquefort
they
cheese,
sell
too.
a lot of arms to the world. But it's the language. It's hard to take anybody seriously. It's like,
It is.
fais attention, je te frappe.
Ridiculous.
I'm like, did you just insult me or ask me on a date?
I know, it makes you horny. It doesn't make you scared.
I didn't say that.
Great,
You
now we
did.
all have boners.
Did you say I have a frappe?
Frappe.
Yeah, no. Frappe means smack or hit. Je te frappe. I will smack you.
I think you just ordered from Starbucks.
Yeah.
One of the other reasons that this is an important place is that it's important to them for uranium, right? So their nuclear program. Now, they're probably using this for the power plants that have been shut down, right? I'm not sure. Is that the material that they're going to be using for this? But either way, they're going to start those things back up. Thankfully, the French are idiots, is what I'm saying. I just want to go back to this point.
Well,
Africa has never gotten it right.
The French are
and
good with
neither have the French. They just happen to be around still. Now, they helped us in 1776, but that was a long time ago. What have you done for me lately, France?
Have you ever heard of perfume? Cheese.
I hate you.
Wine, Gerald.
I said the good things about France already with wine and baguettes.
Yeah, but you don't really drink a lot of French wine. The
I do
wine I've
like
had
French
with
wine.
you has been all American.
Yes, but they tasted French.
Baguettes suck.
They. It's hard.
What?
It's hard bread.
It's bread that
What?
someone left out on the counter for a few days.
Absolutely, and they're like, "Hey, let's sell this under some other name. Let's call it a baguette."
Baguettes go right to Lane's face, so he just keeps it tight.
But let's stay on Niger. Let's focus on
Sorry,
my homies.
I get distracted by how angular his face is. It's
He
a
does have-
baguette-free body.
He does have stark features,
Yeah, or
but in a good way.
or every gay man's dream.
Oh,
I'm
come
straight.
on.
I'm
He's straight. He's
I'm
totally straight.
I'm straight. Yeah, I keep saying that. I got to go to church.
Well, look, both of our countries have a bit of a common goal here, right? So there was somebody who made some news recently with the coup in Russia that was like a weekend affair, which was kind of strange. We didn't think that was going to resolve itself that quickly. Is he still alive, by the way, the head guy?
Prigozhin supposedly
Prigozhin.
Belarus.
in Belarus, yeah.
I suppose, but
They think he's probably dead.
yeah,
At this point.
if he is alive, if he's dead,
Putin would not keep this guy alive, I don't think, at this point, unless he was in on it and it was all this kind of deep fake to kind of get all of the generals to swear allegiance or show themselves that they were traitors. I have no idea. I don't think that actually happened.
I think he's.
I think he's dead.
Yeah.
He's probably dead, and I don't think
on a
we're ever going to
permanent
know.
vacation.
Right. But the Wagner Group, the kind of band of mercenaries, the army that he led, is actually they're trying to. We are both, France and us and Niger, trying to make sure that they don't have a huge influence there, because these guys are the muscle behind a lot of these coups that happen in the Burkina Faso and Mali. So is that the places that have happened recently?
Yeah, those are other countries in that Sahel band that runs across like the middle of Africa. And basically there's coups there every other week.
Yeah.
But Wagner comes in and basically trades security services for things like resource allocation and influence on trade deals and stuff like that. Oil, what else you have there? Cobalts, mining.
Yeah.
Uraniums.
Blood diamonds, where are those?
Right. Diamonds, tons.
That's actually
for sure.
that's down in Sierra Leone
I just didn't know.
and Liberia.
Sure.
So if you look at a bunch of these coups and you look at the new people coming in, or even presidents in some of these countries, all of a sudden white dudes just started showing up around them with with assault rifles, and that was the Wagner Group. So
Gotcha.
they're actually more important. That's why Putin's not going to disband them after something like that, because their operations in Africa are actually extremely important.
Well, it's definitely
Russia's economy.
important. And same thing with China. China has a lot of operations in Africa and other places as basically just resource grabs. And they go in and do stuff like this. Now, I understand maybe we did some stuff back in the day with CIA and some other stuff. So
Nope.
I get it. Didn't happen?
A writer made it up.
All of it. We're going to have to talk about this one.
And you just see me go, move in.
Take them.
You just disappear, and I'm in the chair.
So that's one of the places that we're talking about in Africa, Niger, right? And what's going on there. It ties into the Wagner Group. That's a big tie, having the access to uranium. That's something we want to keep an eye on. We want to make sure that people don't get that don't deserve it.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.